Hey foodies, and welcome back to Cooking with Kiana. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this southern fried fish fry with shrimp. This recipe is quick and easy and absolutely delicious. But enough talking, let's get right into it so I can show you guys how it's done. Let's get started. Alright guys, so here are all the ingredients that I'm going to be using for this recipe. However, you can check the description box. I will have a full list of ingredients listed there, so you can go ahead and check that out. But today I'm going to be using 6 whiting fillets. You can also substitute this for catfish, a pound of shrimp, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of mustard, a half a cup of hot sauce, 1.5 cups of flour, and 1.5 cup of cornmeal or cornstarch. And for seasonings, I'm going to be using 2 teaspoons of lemon pepper seasoning, a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, a tablespoon of Cajun seasoning, and a tablespoon of complete seasoning. Now go ahead and give that a good stir until that is well combined, and set that aside so we can make our wet batter. So in a separate bowl, you're going to go ahead and crack in your 2 eggs. And then go ahead and follow that up with 2 tablespoons of mustard. Now add in a half a cup of your favorite hot sauce. And then follow that up with the seasoning mix that we used earlier. Make sure you only use half because we're going to set half of it aside to go into our flour mixture. Now go ahead and give that a good stir until that is well combined. It should be a thick paste-like consistency. And since you seasoned up your wet batter already, there's no reason for you to season up your fish. So of course you want to make sure you wash that fish off and then pat it completely dry. And then you're going to go ahead and add in your fish. Make sure you really drench it in that sauce. So make sure you flip it over and get it fully submerged on both sides. Now go ahead and place that on a plate and set that aside and repeat the same steps until all of your fish are coated. If you are enjoying this recipe so far, go ahead and subscribe so you do not miss weekly recipes. I post bomb recipes once a week that are quick and easy that anyone can follow along to. Now once you have your fishes all coated in your wet batter, let's move on to our shrimp. So of course I have my shrimp already washed off and peeled and deveined. I just went ahead and left the tails on for decoration, but you can definitely take off those tails. Now go ahead and add your shrimp to that wet batter, and then you're going to stir that all around until it is fully coated. Now let's move on to our flour mixture. So in a separate bowl, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of flour and 2.5 cups of cornmeal. If you don't have cornmeal, you can use cornstarch instead. The only thing is cornmeal is what's going to really give it that southern taste. Now add in the remaining half of that seasoning that we set aside earlier, and then give that a good stir until the seasoning is all mixed in with the flour. So now we can move on to battering our fish. So you're going to go ahead and add your fish fillet in, make sure you push it down to the bottom, and then you're going to take the flour and cover it. And make sure you really pat that flour into your fish. Go ahead and shake off that excess and set that aside on a plate. Now go ahead and repeat that same step until all of your fish are coated. Then you're going to go ahead and do the same thing with your shrimp. The only difference is you can add more shrimps in there. You're going to go ahead and give it a good toss in that flour. Make sure they're fully coated. Then you're going to shake off that excess flour and add it to a separate plate. Go ahead and repeat the process until all of your shrimps are fully coated. Alright, so now that we got our shrimp and our fish all battered, we can move on to the frying process. I'm going to be frying my fish in a cast iron skillet. I'm using vegetable oil, but you can use any high smoke point oil of your choice. And I'm going to be frying mine on medium heat. If you're going to be using a fryer, fry yours between 350 degrees and 375 degrees. Go ahead and gently place the fish in the hot oil away from you so you don't burn yourself. And you're going to let them cook on each side for about 5 minutes. When you're done with one side, you're going to go ahead and flip that over so you can fry the other side. And you keep an eye on that fish because it will fry very quickly. Of course, the goal is to make sure your fish is nice and golden crispy, but it's also important not to overcook that fish, because if you do, you're going to have a dry fish. You want your fish to be nice and flaky and tender and moist on the inside. So to keep them crispy, you want to place them on a cooling rack as soon as they come out of that hot oil. And continue that same step until all your fish are fried. Making sure we place all of our fish on that cooling rack, and man, just look at how crispy those fish are. So now that I'm all done frying my fish, I can move on to frying the shrimp. So I'm going to go ahead and add these in 2 batches. So go ahead and add in your shrimp. Make sure they are not touching each other. And you're going to let them cook for about 3 to 5 minutes. Once they are nice and golden crispy, you're going to go ahead and remove them from the oil. And you're going to place them directly on the cooling rack just like you did the fish. Make sure you spread out the shrimp so they are not overcrowding each other. And there you have it, guys, southern fried fish and shrimp. Let me know in the comment section below what side you like to pair with your fish fry. And of course, you can't forget to add a side of lemon and tartar sauce to dip that fish in. This fish fry was absolutely amazing. I know you guys will definitely enjoy this recipe. The fish was nice and crispy and light and flaky, and it just had so many great flavors since we seasoned up that batter. You can find the full recipe in the description box below. When you guys do make this recipe, make sure you leave a comment below letting me know how it turned out. Leave a like if you enjoyed the recipe, and subscribe for future recipes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.